This league isn't calming down anytime soon.
Tucker, kick on the way. Does it have the distance? No!
Buckle up and brace yourselves for the final 6-week stretch of what has been a thrilling season like no other. Let's get right into our Week 13 edition of the NFL Power Rankings. Number 32, Houston Texans. Last time's ranking, 32. 31 other NFL teams have at least 3 wins. Lovie Smith's 1-9-1 Texans haven't won a game since Week 5. Benching Davis Mills in favor of Kyle Allen did nothing to reverse the team's fortunes during their Week 12 road loss to the Miami Dolphins. But as we all keep telling you Texans fans, every loss brings you one step closer to that coveted first overall pick. Number 31, Chicago Bears. Last time's ranking, 31. Without Justin Fields, the Bears were no match for the New York Jets, who enjoyed an offensive revival under backup quarterback Mike the Goat White. At this point, our advice to Bears fans is to look up highlights of Will Anderson and Jalen Carter. Getting one of those two can't-miss prospects would make up for what has been a mostly frustrating season in the Windy City. Number 30, Los Angeles Rams. Last time's ranking, 27. There's no sense beating up on the Rams at this point. They're a top-heavy roster trying to get by without their starting QB and a top wide receiver. And yes, their first-round pick, which could be a top 5 selection, belongs to the Detroit Lions. But this is the risk you take when you go all in. And since the Rams won the Super Bowl last season, we refuse to feel sorry for them. Number 29, New Orleans Saints. Last time's ranking, 24. Dennis Allen's insistence on rolling with Andy Dalton over Jameis Winston has probably cost New Orleans, maybe 3 wins or so. Look, we know Winston isn't 100%, but even Winston at 75% is better than Dalton at 100%. Funny enough, at 4-8, the Saints aren't even done for. A win over the Tampa Bay Buccaneers on Monday would keep them very much alive in the NFC South race. Number 28, Indianapolis Colts. Last time's ranking, 28. It was a valiant effort, but in the end, Jeff Saturday's inexperience really seemed to shine through for the first time since he took over as the Colts head coach.
Ryan right up the gut. Dive short of the first down, and they have got to take a timeout here, I would imagine.
No, I don't think I will.
This should be a good learning experience for Saturday. Number 27, Denver Broncos. Last time's ranking, 26. Hey look, Russell Wilson and the Broncos were held to under 17 points. Again! Denver is currently enduring their worst season since 2010, despite landing a future Hall of Fame quarterback in the offseason. Like, how is that even possible? It's only a matter of time until the Broncos make a switch at head coach. No way Nathaniel Hackett can be trusted to turn this team around in 2023. Number 26, Carolina Panthers. Last time's ranking, 30. Sam Darnold made his first start of 2022 and passed the test with flying colors. The Panthers are now 3-4 under interim head coach Steve Wilkes. He's winning with mediocre quarterback play, and the defense has vastly improved under his watch. Is it time for Carolina to maybe remove that interim label? Number 25, Arizona Cardinals. Last time's ranking, 21. Another week, another loss for the Cardinals, and another instance of Kyler Murray throwing shade at Cliff Kingsbury. The more things change, the more they stay the same. Those long-term extensions the team gave Kingsbury and GM Steve Keim following their humiliating playoff loss to the Rams last season are looking worse and worse with each Cardinals loss. Number 24, Green Bay Packers. Last time's ranking, 20. The Packers kept it close, well, at least closer than many expected against the Philadelphia Eagles, but there's no celebrating moral losses when you're by far football's biggest disappointment of 2022. Aaron Rodgers injured his ribs and didn't get to finish the game. At this point, the Packers would be wise to shut him down for the season and see what Jordan Love can do. Sitting at 4-8 with 5 games to go, all hope is pretty much lost at this point. Number 23, Pittsburgh Steelers. Last time's ranking, 29. We've said it before and we'll say it again. The Steelers are a completely different team with TJ Watt in the lineup. Despite the win over Indy, this is still a lost season for Pittsburgh. But they have to be pretty happy with the development that they're seeing from Kenny Pickett. He's now gone 3 straight games without throwing a pick. Number 22, Detroit Lions. Last time's ranking, 19. The Lions were so close to upsetting the heavily favored Buffalo Bills on Thanksgiving, but Josh Allen, Stephon Diggs, and Tyler Bass came through in the clutch to escape with a 28-25 victory. Tough way for the Lions to see a 3-game winning streak end, but we're starting to see a significant progress in Dan Campbell's second year as head coach. Number 21, Cleveland Browns. Last time's ranking, 25. Jacoby Brissett's final start for the Browns couldn't have gone much better.
One more week,
He outdueled former teammate Tom Brady and led Cleveland to an upset over the Buccaneers in overtime. That late touchdown throw and catch to David Njoku was a thing of beauty. Number 20, Jacksonville Jaguars. Last time's ranking, 22. What a day in Duval County. The Jaguars completed an epic comeback against the powerhouse Baltimore Ravens. Doug Peterson's faith in Trevor Lawrence to go for the 2-point conversion at the end of the game paid major dividends. That is the quarterback Jacksonville's front office envisioned when they used the first overall pick to get Lawrence. Now the question is, can he keep it rolling? Number 19, Atlanta Falcons. Last time's ranking, 18. A wasted opportunity for the Falcons. The Saints and Buccaneers both lost, but Marcus Mariota's gut-wrenching end-zone interception late in the game prevented the Falcons from taking sole possession of first in the NFC South. Hey, Atlanta just needs a win over a very beatable Pittsburgh team, along with a Tampa Bay loss in New Orleans, and hey, they're back in first place. Their playoff hopes are not done just yet. Number 18, Las Vegas Raiders. Last time's ranking, 23. Are the Raiders sure they don't want to pay Josh Jacobs? The guy just put up 303 yards of offense in a thrilling 40-34 overtime win on the road over the Seattle Seahawks. No, the Raiders won't make the playoffs this year, but we're really starting to see the potential of this offense when it clicks. If they can just get a defense, the Raiders could be dangerous in 2023. Number 17, Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Last time's ranking, 13. How frustrating are these guys? The Bucs win consecutive games before their bye week, then they go to Cleveland to play a 3-win team with one of the worst defenses in the league, and they lay an egg. The Bucs unraveled in the final quarter and overtime, and wound up losing 23-17, dropping to 5-6 on the season. They just keep wasting chances to pad their lead in the sad NFC South. Number 16, New England Patriots. Last time's ranking, 14. As if the Patriots' hot and cold play wasn't frustrating enough to start with. The offense finally turns in one of its best performances of the year by scoring 26 points. But it's not enough because the defense was virtually non-existent in the team's Thanksgiving loss to the Minnesota Vikings. And to make matters worse, the Bills, Jets, Dolphins, Chargers, and Cincinnati Bengals all won. New England is now on the side of the playoff picture looking in. Things are not going to get any easier with the Bills coming to town on Thursday. Number 15, Los Angeles Chargers. Last time's ranking, 17. The Chargers kept their playoff dreams very much alive with a clutch last-second road win over the Cardinals. Not very often where you get to use Chargers and clutch in the same sentence, so hey, enjoy it, Bolts fans. LA is now one game behind the Jets and Bengals for the final two playoff spots in the AFC. Game on. Number 14, Seattle Seahawks. Last time's ranking, 11. It's gut check time for the Seahawks, who went from the feel-good story of 2022 to potentially missing out on the postseason entirely. Losing a sloppy game to the Bucs in Germany was one thing, but there is no excuse for losing at home to a mediocre Raiders team because your D can't make a stop. The good news for Seattle is they have two get-right games up next against the Rams and Panthers. Number 13, New York Jets. Last time's ranking, 16. The Jets rode the Mike White train to victory over Chicago, leaving Robert Saleh zero doubt as to who should start at QB from here on out. White is just miles better than Zach Wilson. He doesn't have the same limitations or bad habits that'll hold the offense back. The Jets' win, coupled with the Patriots' loss, has Gangrene sitting in a playoff position once again. Number 12, New York Giants. Last time's ranking, 12. Time to start worrying a little bit if you're a Giants fan. They've now dropped 3 of their last 4, and 5 of their final 6 games are against teams currently in the playoffs. It's time for Daniel Jones to step up, and for the defense to regain its first half form. Otherwise, this dream season will come crashing down very quickly. Number 11, Washington Commanders. Last time's ranking, 15. A nail-biter of a victory over Atlanta has Washington sitting pretty at 7-5 and right in the thick of the NFC playoff picture. Taylor Heineke has now rallied Ron Rivera's group by winning 5 of 6 starts this season. And to think, the Commanders have been trying so hard to find a starting quarterback when they've had one sitting right under their noses this entire time.
Hey, Ron. What's up?
Oh, hi. Didn't see you there.
We've been here literally the entire time you have.
I'm a little embarrassed.
Number 10, Baltimore Ravens. Last time's ranking, 5. Why are the Ravens the way they are?
Why are you the way that you are?
They either display all the makings of a Super Bowl champion or they blow a double-digit fourth quarter lead. A habit that is not championship caliber at all. There is a light at the end of the tunnel though, as their next 5 games are against teams with losing records. Number 9, Tennessee Titans. Last time's ranking, 4. We're not telling Titans fans to be happy with losses. Surely they would have loved to avenge that heartbreaking divisional round loss to the Bengals, but Joe Burrow and the visitors had other ideas. Get these frustrating losses out of the way now and be at your best for January. Number 8, Cincinnati Bengals. Last time's ranking, 9. Like last year's squad, the 2022 Bengals are rounding into form at the right time. A big-time road win in Tennessee has Cincinnati sitting comfortably at 7-4 with Patrick Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs next on the schedule. Number 7, San Francisco 49ers. Last time's ranking, 10. 4 straight wins for the 49ers, who are now in the driver's seat for the NFC West. Their lights-out defense has given up 20-plus points just twice all season, and Jimmy Garoppolo is looking as good as ever with a plethora of game records at his disposal. Number 6, Minnesota Vikings. Last time's ranking, 8. The Vikings reminded the football world that they're not going anywhere by putting on quite the offensive performance against the Patriots on Thanksgiving Day. I mean, even the great Bill Belichick had no answer for Justin Jefferson. Throw in losses from all 3 NFC North rivals, and the division is basically locked up. Number 5, Dallas Cowboys. Last time's ranking, 7. The Cowboys have bounced back with convincing wins over 2 winning teams in the Vikings and Giants. There really only seems to be 3 or 4 legit contenders in the NFC right now, but Dallas is certainly one of them. Number 4, Buffalo Bills. Last time's ranking, 6. The Bills didn't play their best football in Detroit, but the best teams find ways to win, even when they're not at their best. Josh Allen came through when it mattered most to keep Buffalo in the win column. That said, losing Von Miller to injury is concerning. Number 3, Miami Dolphins. Last time's ranking, 2. Winners of 5 straight, Miami still hasn't lost a game in which Tagovailoa played from start to finish. Their victory over the Texans keep them tied with the Bills atop the AFC East, with the Finns owning the tiebreaker. And how's this for a juicy Week 13 matchup? The Dolphins and their prolific offense coming to San Francisco to take on the NFL's best defense. Number 2, Philadelphia Eagles. Last time's ranking, 3. It wasn't their best effort, especially on defense, but the Eagles did just enough to squeak by a resilient Green Bay team at Lincoln Financial Field. A marquee matchup is next on the schedule against Derrick Henry and the AFC South leading Titans. Number 1, Kansas City Chiefs. Last time's ranking, 1. Kansas City has strung together 5 straight wins, putting up at least 26 points in 4 of those games. Patrick Mahomes is the MVP frontrunner, and the Chiefs look poised to earn the conference's top seed. Everything is just clicking for the AFC's top team right now. Good luck stopping them. But who do you think is the NFL's best team heading into Week 13? Join us in the comment section below. If you like this video and learned a thing or two, clicking the like button helps out a ton. And hey, we appreciate it. If this is your first time coming around to TPS though, subscribing is a great idea, because we put out videos like this every single day. But as always, thanks for watching, and we'll see you guys next time.